Sisters and brothers standing tall and proud in a picture shared with friends on social media. Few, if any, of their contacts know the dark past that they share. They've limited recollections to the time before and after dishonor and death turned their worlds upside down. Their secret might have been buried forever, that is, until their Aunt Mary died and her creepy photo album was sold at an estate sale and later turned up on eBay. This is Secrets and Shadows, and I'm your host, Carl Von Bunko. Late December 2018, a woman in the Northwest was searching eBay for vintage photos for an art project. She came upon a listing with the title, Vintage Photo Album, Scrapbook, Family Documentation, Funerals, Bodies and Caskets. The description, along with the spooky thumbnail pictures, were irresistible. Having an interest in the macabre, she purchased the forgotten family heirloom without hesitation. The album didn't disappoint with its creepiness. Dried funeral flowers, a dead body, scribbled sentiments, and mysterious mementos. It suggested sadness and a life with few highlights. Luckily, the album contained newspaper clippings with identifying information, so with a little research, pieces of a strange but true family history was assembled. Those are the secrets that we'll pull from the shadows. There's not much about Mary Roper's life that can be easily determined. Besides being an eccentric scrapbooker, she lived in a trailer park, her parents were married for over 50 years, and her husband died in a hotel room of alcoholism. Her sister's life proved to be much more colorful. Eula Roper married wealthy farmer John Henry Birdsong. While raising 9 children, Eula was active with the local 4-H club, the PTA, and the Baptist Church. She was also president of the Georgia Cowbells Association and served as the state's beef promotion chairwoman and hawked recipes for delicacies like beef candy. When not participating in her community activities or running her large household, Eula was found working on their 100-acre farm, which produced beef, hogs, sheep, peanuts, and corn. Celebrating her community service and homesteading wonders, at the age of 55, Eula was named Woman of the Year of Decatur, Georgia in 1972. As the article about her described, Eula was truly an outstanding woman. What isn't mentioned in the Woman of the Year article was that she and her husband had recently had a strained relationship, divorcing in 1969 after a 28-year marriage, only to remarry in 1971. Demonstrating that it may take more than being a well-fed family to be a happy family, John Henry would soon stray again, this time with Dorothy McDaniel, a nurse at a hospital in Thomasville. Eula would find gifts from Dorothy in his car. These were certainly curious tokens of affection and included an Afghan, a pillow, a quilt, and most quizzically, a curler bonnet. John would later say that his lover gave him the curler bonnet because he was unable to sleep without something over his head. In addition to leaving gifts around, John was pretty brazen in his dalliances in other ways. His son Don recalled the time when the family drove to Calvary for his brother Dick's wedding. After dinner, John Henry told the family he wanted to leave. John Henry proceeded to drive to meet his lover with his son in the car, took off with her, and left his son stranded for 3.5 hours. Don later told his mother what his dad had been up to. John then promised her that he would stop seeing Dorothy. But did he? Nope, he couldn't stay away. John was often spotted at local dance halls with Dorothy and didn't hide his affection for her in front of neighbors and family friends. On several occasions, his girlfriend, Dorothy, called Eula and said that she was going to divorce her own husband and steal John Henry away from her. In turn, Eula said she'd get her if she did. So what does this former Woman of the Year do? Well, she got some courage and headed to the dance hall. After watching her husband embrace his lover, Dorothy, on the dance floor, Eula pulled a gun out of her handbag and shot Dorothy twice in the back, killing her. When the police arrived, Eula told one of the detectives, "That woman threatened me, and I decided I would settle it tonight. John said he did not realize that Dorothy had been shot until she fell to the floor out of my arms, and I don't remember what happened after that." Later, on trial, Eula explained, I love my husband. He's the father of my children, and I could not tolerate another divorce suit. About her victim, she said, definitely I regret what happened. That one had children just as I have children. She was a mother, too. I'll go through the rest of my life regretting this thing. In the end, character witnesses would stand up for Eula, insanity would be pled, and Eula would serve 2 years in jail, with 5 years probation. While it's unclear if his love was reignited by his wife's murderous rage, or if he was just scared stiff of leaving her, John Henry would for the rest of his life stay by Eula's side. 13 years after the shooting, John Henry died at home. On the day of John Henry's funeral, Don, the son who went on that adulterous joyride with his dad, went on another journey with him, to his own grave. At age 39, Don Birdsong died of a heart attack while mourning his father with the rest of the family. Eula would later go on to live until the age of 94 and be eulogized sweetly upon her death, with mentions of her dedication to the church. Maybe it was bad genes or the trauma of the dark history, but one of Eula's sons would become a convicted forger with a dozen fake names. Another would have a scratch-off lotto addiction, and her great-grandson Perry would recently get away with murder himself. In a more benign way, and perhaps as a subconscious repentance, a couple of Eula's children could be found playing catch-a-criminal games online. Did Mary know that she was leaving clues to this sinister family secret in her scrapbook? Probably not, but like time and time again, the secrets will always be uncovered from the shadows.